I thought altcoins would die almost instantly. There's a lot more appetite on the gambling end of the spectrum and much less so on the savings side than I thought. I changed a lot since getting into Bitcoin. Like getting paid for stuff that I never thought that I could get paid to do. It's a better money, not a better technology.
Hello, Cointelegraph is here live at BTC Prague. My name is Kieran and I'm joined by prominent Bitcoin advocate Jimmy Song. So you got in 2011. Now looking back all those years later, 15 years now, is Bitcoin as you thought it would turn out to be, or is it vastly different?
I thought altcoins would die almost instantly just because if they were proven to be non-secure, then why would anyone hold it? Turns out that people in Ethereum and Solana and all these places don't care that their money's not secure and that they get hacked on a regular basis and that they're, all kinds of stuff. Like, apparently that's not as big a deal, which seems crazy to me still. And I knew this back in 2013, 2014, when like the Ethereum yellow paper and white paper will launch and stuff. I thought this thing has no chance. It's going to be so vulnerable.
What is Jimmy Song's favorite altcoin then, outside of
nothing? Because they're all scams. And you don't have the network effect. You don't have the hardening. You don't have any of that stuff. So you're always going to be behind Bitcoin. And for me, that I thought that would prevent a lot of people from coming into those other coins. But I was proven wrong. There's a lot more appetite on the gambling end of the spectrum and much less so on the savings side than I thought.
You've been in the space for years now, an early adopter. Has Bitcoin won?
I think it's winning. I don't know if it's won yet until it's the global reserve currency. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously doing very well. Orders of magnitude higher than many years ago, so yeah.
And how close do you think we actually are from Bitcoin becoming a global monetary?
Well, so it's like gradually then suddenly, right? So for me, one of the big points of inflection points was the Russian invasion of Ukraine when the U.S. cut off Russia from the dollar system. So they're obviously never going to be on the dollar again. And you have a significant amount of global trade in renminbi, right? And then you have oil being sold for euros and yuans. Nobody's really buying treasuries anymore. Everyone's stocking up on gold. At some point, they'll figure out we need to be stocking up on Bitcoin instead.
Has anything really surprised you?
Oh, tons of stuff. I mean, I think before 2017 with the block size wars, I really thought that some sort of split would be very harmful. It actually turned out to be one of the most fantastic things for the Bitcoin network because we got a lot of hardening, a lot of attack vectors sort of like taken care of. We understood better sort of the social attack layer, if you will, like the New York agreement, corporations getting together with miners and trying to take over Bitcoin and sort of immunizing against that. Like that ended up being fantastic for the Bitcoin price, right? It went from something like 2,800 to 19,000 in a matter of a few months. And that was largely due to the uncertainty that was removed as a result of that attack. I know that I changed a lot since getting into Bitcoin. I like before this, I was a coder, right? Getting paid to be a code monkey somewhere. And like speaking at conferences, writing books, like hosting dinners, like getting paid for stuff that I never thought that I could get paid to do.
What's the wildest thing you've been paid for?
I mean, like, I think the 2017, 2018 era of all the fork coins and helping people claim their fork coins and immediately sell them so that they can get more Bitcoin and taking a percentage of that, like as a service, like that's not something any kid could dream up as like a thing, but highly lucrative, just something that I would never have thought of as a thing. And for a few months there, that was an insanely profitable thing to do. And people were very happy to let me help them because it was just like, oh yeah, you're gonna get me. And every time a new four coin would launch, I would give all my clients like their money, and they'd be like, "This is like receiving a dividend. This is so awesome."
Tell me then, are you upset about institutional interest in Bitcoin?
I mean, I'm not upset per se. I just think that it's got its trade-offs, right? Like it does bring more people into the Bitcoin space, gives them more price exposure and stuff like that, so they pay more attention to it. But it also is a hugely centralizing force, and I don't think we should be going rah rah. Hey, we need more people buying treasury companies or something like that. No, it's way better if you're self-custodying your coin, and that's a reality that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge or are glossing over when they're talking about these.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that the everyday person still has towards Bitcoin?
Yeah, for me, they think of it as a technology and not money, and this is the route that they go down because every innovation that we've had in like the last 60 years has been in the technological realm, right? Like the microchip, internet, cell phones, social media, whatever. And they think and in the technical realm, you have certain rules. A better mousetrap will get you more users and things like that, which is honestly how a lot of altcoins market themselves. We can do this better than Bitcoin, this better than Bitcoin, or whatever. We have better transactions per second or something like that. But that's not what Bitcoin is. It's not primarily a technology. It has technical underpinnings, but the main thing is that it's a new and different type of money, and it's decentralized, and it's very different than altcoins. And it has different rules. It's not about building a better mousetrap. It's about staying the same. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about money because of the Federal Reserve, because of the last 100 years of gaslighting around inflation and so on. They think, central management of something is better on money, and it's absolutely not. It's way better when it doesn't change, when you can predict the future, when you can plan things with it. And that's a misconception. It's largely around what Bitcoin is. It's a better money, not a better technology.
So then looking ahead to 2030 as well with your crystal ball,
No,
how does Bitcoin look then in the next few years by 2030?
we know what Bitcoin's going to do. That's part of its utility, is that you know exactly what percentage of the entire Bitcoin market cap that you have just by the number of Bitcoins that you own and so on. You don't with the Fed, right? You don't with the dollar. You have no idea whether they're going to print, whether they're going to ease, they're going to tighten, or whatever. Who knows? If you have, say, the euro hyperinflate, you'd have a lot more people in Bitcoin tomorrow, right?
Do you think the attention from AI is going to come back to Bitcoin though?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's because AI is currently sort of like where Bitcoin was in the GPU era. It was about more was better. But then the ASIC era came where, the size of these things significantly reduced, the energy requirements significantly reduced. And we're going to get there with AI because AI is speed running what Bitcoin already did, which was, on-chip stuff, although obviously AI is a lot more complicated than the SHA-256 algorithm. But it's happening right now where instead of these giant GPU clusters taking up huge data centers and stuff like that, you're going to have the equivalent of a small chip that does all of that because it can get more specialized. But you're still having all of this energy build out and stuff. What are you going to do with that once things start flipping and people, say Opus 4.6 is good enough and an ASIC equivalent chip comes out in the next 6 months, and you don't need a subscription to Claude anymore. You just buy this chip for $500 or whatever, $5,000, I don't know, and have it at home, and you don't have to leak your privacy and all that stuff. I don't know where a lot of this computing power goes except to Bitcoin.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jimmy. I appreciate your time, mate. Thank you so much.